Laughter seems completely useless. It doesn't help you run faster. It doesn't help you hunt. It doesn't stop you from freezing to death. Evolution is ruthless. If a behavior wastes energy, makes noise, attracts attention, and does nothing useful, natural selection usually has a very simple solution. It removes it. And yet humans have spent hundreds of thousands of years laughing. Every culture laughs. Every child laughs. Even babies laugh before they can speak. Which raises a surprisingly difficult question. Why did evolution keep laughter? The obvious answer is that laughter exists because things are funny. But that doesn't actually explain anything. It just moves the mystery one step backward. Why does your brain find anything funny in the first place? Why does your body produce that strange repeated burst of sound? Why is laughter contagious? And why does it feel so deeply human that most of us never stop to question it? Here's the strange part. Laughter may not have started as entertainment at all. It may have started as survival information. Imagine you're living in a small human group 200,000 years ago. No cities, no laws, no hospitals, no emergency services. Just a few dozen people moving through a landscape where a bad decision, a broken ankle, or a predator in the wrong place could end your life very quickly. Now imagine the group hears something in the bushes. Everyone freezes. For a few seconds, nobody knows what just happened. Is it a leopard? Is it a snake? Is someone injured? Then one person sees the truth. It's nothing. A branch fell. Someone slipped, looked ridiculous, and somehow did not die. And then they laugh. That laugh is not random. It tells everyone nearby something extremely important. The danger is gone. The alarm was false. You can relax. Some researchers have suggested that this may be one of laughter's oldest functions, a signal that a situation looked threatening but turned out to be safe. That sounds small, but in a world where every panic costs energy, every false alarm interrupts hunting, and every confused reaction can create real danger, a fast signal for "we're okay" is not useless. It's efficient, but that still doesn't explain the weirdest thing about laughter, because laughter doesn't just communicate, it spreads. One person laughs, then another, then another. And suddenly an entire group is making the same sound at the same time. That is a deeply strange thing for an animal to do. Most animals coordinate when they are escaping, attacking, mating, or defending territory. Humans coordinate over something as apparently pointless as someone falling into mud, which suggests that laughter was doing something more than announcing safety. It was binding people together. This is where the evidence gets interesting. Psychologist Robert Provine, who spent years studying laughter in ordinary human conversations, found that most laughter does not happen after jokes. It happens during normal social interaction. People laugh after greetings, after tiny comments, after sentences that are not funny when written down. In other words, most laughter is not comedy. Most laughter is social behavior. And that completely changes the question. Maybe laughter did not evolve because jokes were useful. Maybe jokes became useful because laughter already existed. Think about chimpanzees. When chimpanzees groom each other, they are not just removing dirt and parasites. They are maintaining relationships. Grooming says, "I trust you. I am not attacking you. We are connected." But grooming has a problem. It is slow. One chimpanzee can only groom one other chimpanzee at a time. Humans, however, began living in larger, more complicated groups. More people meant more relationships to manage, more trust to maintain, more conflicts to prevent. And you cannot personally groom 30 people around the campfire before dinner unless your social calendar is frankly out of control. Laughter may have helped solve that problem. Shared laughter allows many people to experience the same bonding signal at once. A group can laugh together in seconds. They can release tension together. They can feel, without anyone giving a speech, that they are on the same side. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar has argued that laughter may trigger endorphins, the brain's natural feel-good chemicals, helping create social bonds in a way that resembles grooming, but at a much larger scale. That is a remarkable idea. Laughter may be a kind of social technology, not a tool made of stone or bone, a tool made of sound. And you can feel this when laughter disappears. A room where nobody laughs does not just feel serious, it feels unsafe. You start monitoring yourself. Did I say something wrong? Am I outside the group? That feeling is not modern weakness. It is ancient social radar. For most of human history, being rejected by the group was not just unpleasant, it could be fatal. This is also why laughter appears so early in children. A baby does not understand jokes. A baby has no concept of sarcasm, irony, or timing. But babies laugh, often during play, especially during tickling, chasing, peekaboo, and exaggerated surprise. Those are not intellectual jokes, they are social games built around controlled danger. The face disappears, then it returns, the hand approaches. But it does not hurt. The parent growls. But the parent is still safe. The child's brain is learning the difference between threat and play, danger and trust, attack and affection. Laughter marks that boundary. It says, this is not real danger. This is safe danger. But then comes the strangest part. If laughter is social, why do you laugh alone? You read something ridiculous. You remember something embarrassing from 8 years ago, and you laugh. Nobody is there to bond with. So what is happening? The answer is that evolution rarely builds clean machines. It builds messy systems that get reused. A behavior that begins as a social signal can become attached to the brain's reward system. And once that happens, it can be triggered by patterns, surprises, and contradictions even when no group is present. A joke works because your brain expects one outcome and suddenly gets another. A situation looks dangerous, then becomes harmless. A sentence leads you one way, then turns sharply at the last possible moment. Your brain solves the tiny puzzle. The tension collapses, and the ancient signal fires. Laughter. So, why did ancient humans laugh? Probably not for one single reason. That is rarely how evolution works. They laughed to signal safety. They laughed to invite play. They laughed to repair tension. They laughed to strengthen trust. They laughed because groups that could relax together, learn together, and recover from fear together had a better chance of staying together. And groups that stayed together survived. That is the part most people miss. Laughter looks light. It looks silly. It looks like the least serious thing humans do, but underneath it is one of the most serious problems our species ever faced. How do fragile, anxious, dangerous animals live close enough together to cooperate without constantly tearing each other apart? Part of the answer may have been laughter, a sound that tells the nervous system, the danger has passed. The group is safe. You belong here. So the next time you laugh with someone, you are not doing something meaningless. You are participating in a behavior older than civilization, older than farming, possibly older than our species as we understand it. Ancient humans did not have comedy clubs. They did not have sitcoms. They did not have comment sections, which, on balance, was probably good for their mental health. What they had was a dangerous world, a fragile social life, and a strange sound that helped hold people together. Laughter did not survive because life was easy. It survived because life was hard.